In September 2020, amid the pandemic, Giulia Lozza Petrucci founded Dragon's Den, a youth development center in the historic former St. Mary Magdalene Church in Homestead, a suburb across the river from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The center features a transformational 2-level ropes course, a climbing wall, and a 160-foot zip line. Giulia exemplifies resilience and positive community impact, transforming an abandoned church with the help of 80 volunteers into a thriving educational and social hub for children in need. As CEO, she is pioneering this academic year the Mindful Young Mind Social Emotional Resilience Curriculum for children aged 6 to 13 in this distressed community. Her dedication to fostering growth, hope, love, and positivity is evident in her innovative programs. Since its inception, over 7,500 visitors have benefited from Dragon's Den unique recreational and educational experiences, with its impact continuing to grow. Personally, I have been involved with Giulia and in Dragon's Den for, I think, close to over a year now, close to a year and a half. And it has been an amazing experience for me to see all the work that they're doing, and it's just fantastic. I leave it to Giulia. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Leibovitz, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to be here with you and share the Dragon's Den story. Would be great if I can move the... Okay, hold on. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So Dragon's Den, it's a youth development center. We serve children 6 to 13 years old. Our children comes with different abilities and challenging backgrounds. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the story of Dragon's Den and how we ended up working with Dr. Meyer, Dr. Leibovitz, and the curriculum of Mindful Young Mind curriculum. With the help of 80 volunteers, we were able to completely renovate St. Mary Magdalene that was abandoned over 10 years. In September 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, when all the schools, the libraries, and the other nonprofit were closed, and our children were forced to stay home very often in families that were not safe. Dragon's Den is an adaptation of the Italian oratorio where I come from. It's a safe space centrally located in every little town where children can walk to independently. It's very important this because, especially in areas like Homestead, where parents sometimes are not highly involved in the life of their children, and there are very serious limitations with transportation. Our ultimate goal at the Dragon's Den is to inspire children to dream above and beyond their realities and be there to support those dreams by teaching life skills. All our programs are organized around a highly customized ropes course that is a very versatile tool for us, and it becomes very easily a metaphor of life. So where do we operate? We operate in Homestead. Homestead is close to Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania and was once a thriving community town when was actually known as the capital of the steel industry. With the collapse of the steel industry, Homestead followed the destiny of so many other steel towns. It became a ghost town with high crime and high poverty. In 1895, St. Mary Magdalene was built. It is an example, beautiful example of Italian Romanesque. It has been an icon for our community over centuries. It survived 2 devastating fires over the years, but it looked like it was not going to survive the collapse of the steel industry, and it was doomed to become a parking lot. This is where we started. When we acquired the church, there was no electricity, no heat, no water, no gas. The picture in the middle shows you 5 feet of water in our basement because we had a spring there. And when the church was closed, the electricity was torn off, the electric pump stopped pumping out water, and that accumulation of water caused mold that covered every wall in the entire facility. The roof was also severely damaged. And basically, it was a huge project that required a huge leap of faith. And if we wanted to stay all connected with the theme, a great resilience. And finally, a dream came true. It became true because of 80 volunteers that helped us across 2 continents. And the ropes course was actually designed by 2 designers from Italy. That they came in Pittsburgh, stayed at my house over 3 weeks, and we designed everything on our dining room table. It took us a year to raise the funds, and then they came back and they trained 80 volunteers, and together, of all ages, together we assembled this ropes course that is highly customized, and it's really stunning if you could see it in real person. And it was like a really a miracle happening under our own eyes. The ropes course now consists of 800 feet of challenges, an upper course for children 10 and older, a lower course for children 5 to 9, a 20-foot high climbing wall, and the best part is a 160-foot long zip line that connects the choir loft to the former altar. And here you can see a little bit better the Dragon's Den. So now we are open 7 days a week. We offer several programs, and all the programs are organized around the ropes course that demonstrated from the very beginning a high impact on self-confidence, problem solving, internal locus of control. And also we use it as a flexible tool, as I was mentioning before. Just to give you an example, in preparation of our kids to be part of the Shakespeare monologue contest with the Pittsburgh Public Theater, we put our kids on the course, and they cannot move from one platform to another one unless they know their lines and they project their voice so that their friend can hear those lines and repeat from different areas of the church. Another interesting aspect, and one of the reasons why we decided to build a ropes course inside our church, is because it's a metaphor of life. And to give you an example, again, we have one kid that is one platform and is spending a lot of time looking at the challenge in front of him or her. At that point, we take notes, and then as part of the debriefing moment, we ask, what were the thoughts that you were thinking when you were there? What were you experiencing? And if the kid was able to overcome those challenges, we ask, what were the thoughts that inspired you and told you that you could do it? And if the kid decided that he was not able to do it, at that point, we ask the same question, like, what are the thoughts that told you you couldn't do it? And then from that specific question related to their experience on the ropes course, we expanded and we ask, can you recognize those thoughts outside the Dragon's Den? And the common answer are, yes, we have the same feeling in front of a difficult math homework or during a test, for example. In less than 4 years, actually, we are now open 7 days a week, and we offer several programs, after-school programs, summer camps, workshops, and we are a destination for field trips. During the weekend, we are instead open to birthday party and individual tickets to experience the ropes course, so that we can raise the funds that then support our free programs that we offer during the week. Our impact has been great, but we didn't do it on our own. We focused from the very beginning in outreach and community engagement. Even our name, Dragon's Den, was a naming contest where hundreds of people from the community participated. One of my favorite name was actually the Flying Nun. But in the end, we decided to choose the Dragon's Den because it was a mascot associated with St. Mary Magdalene School. At the moment, we have a 40 established partnership, and we work in close collaboration with local university. Over the years, we learned a lot, and we grew, and we listened to our children's needs. So we started initially with 2 pillars, and it was the nutrition and the physical activities, meaning that as part of our program, we will feed our children snacks, dinner during the after-school program, or breakfast, lunch, and heavy snacks during the summer camps. We also would give our kids grocery bags full of grocery to bring to their families. The year after, the second years, we added the academics pillar with mentorship and tutoring. After that, the following year again, through the 40 partnership, we were able to offer every day an hour of STEAM, which is STEM plus art. But then in November 2022, we realized that if we wanted to be really impactful, that was not enough. We needed to start focusing on mental health and mental well-being because our kids came with severe trauma and also several disabilities that very often were not diagnosed. And this is when we started, I met Dr. Leibovitz. We started meeting every week. I found out about the mindful choice system initially, and I was very impressed. The staff and I were very impressed because it just made sense. We are there working with these children every day. We have challenges that are always different, and we needed something that worked, and it was easy, and it was almost subliminal. And I'll explain what I mean with this. I personally applied this system in my life first to see if it worked. And I was very impressed. My staff was impressed. And then basically through this collaboration, we also discussed which approaches we believed work better for our kids. And after a year and a half, the Mindful Young Minds Social Emotional Resilience curriculum was ready. And we saw incredible results from even if we just started training our staff, and we use a certain aspect just with some kids that are especially challenging. And so we can't wait to start the full pilot program this fall with the support of Dr. Maya and Dr. Leibovitz to make sure that we can really track the impact of this system that I really believe will transform the way we educate our kids. What makes this system very special, and you have been exposed to this, to the icons, the mind evoke psychology skill icons, is that it's like a small, what I like to call it is each icon is a pearl of wisdom. And that it's in there, as you can see, they are self-explanatory, they are almost subliminal, and they force our children to take a moment and think before they act. So I remember when Dr. Leibovitz told me, we believe that we can think how kids think about things. If we change the way kids think about their things and their problems, then we change the way they feel. If we change the way they feel, then their behavior will change. And that system already showed us huge promises. And we just can't wait for the moment where we can actually expand it to all our kids. The desired outcomes here and the learning objectives are enhanced impulse control and frustration tolerance, enrich self-empowerment and resilience, acquire internal locus of control. And I challenge anybody that is an educator nowadays to think that this is not what we are dealing with every day. I chose this green doors versus red doors because that was the first icon that was presented to me. I think that this partnership is between Dragon's Den and Dr. Meyer, Dr. Leibovitz was particularly successful because we had from the beginning a lot of synergies. So Dragon's Den believe in a challenge by choice, a system that was initially thought when we built the Rogues course. I wanted to make sure that each challenge could be overcome in different level of challenges, like easier, middle difficulties, or more difficult, depending on where the child was emotionally and where he wanted to go. So when we were presented with the red door and versus green door and the binary choice, those cards resonated with us right away. We learned that every day we make 30,000 choices, but the choices are really binary. In any given moment, we have only two options: to make a course of action or not, to do something or not to do it. This simplification really helped the children.
Giulia, I'm sorry to interrupt, but 2 more minutes if you don't mind.
Okay, perfect. Once the children know where they want to go, and that's called the destination, it's very important in this curriculum, then it's very easy for them to decide which choice will bring them closer or farther away from it. Children also realize that every decision they make has consequences that can be positive or negative. I took from the curriculum a quote that I like to share with our staff all the time. It's from Theodore Roosevelt. In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing is the wrong thing, and the worst thing you can do is nothing. As you can see, we really embrace this curriculum. We painted the doors of our classroom green and red. So we asked the kids to open which door they decide to open, and then we debrief of what do you see there? What's the next step? I'm going to share with you a couple of stories about the impact that we have seen so far. The first story is about a kid that we will call D. D came to Dragon's Den with big challenges in controlling his emotion and behavior. He was bullied a lot inside and outside his house. He's a very smart kid, and through breathing techniques and through empathy and through showing certain specific icons, he learned to control his impulsivity and stay calm. While at the Dragon's Den, Dee developed a dream. His dream was to become a great architect. We developed a background design. You see here, icon 21. And we realized that his destination, the cheese here in the picture, was becoming an architect, a very successful architect. In order to reach to that destination, we realized that it would be, he will have bigger chance if he would be admitted to the most prestigious university in Pittsburgh, which is Carnegie Mellon University. At that point, he realized that in order to be admitted to that university, he needed to receive very good grades and not get in trouble. Suddenly, becoming a great student became very important to Dee. And this exercise served him exceptionally well. Dee lost his mother in a very violent death last February. The media were all over the story. The father was not in his life, and the grandmother aunts were out of state. Losing a father when you are 14, is tough. Losing a mother in such a way is unbearable. But Dee demonstrated an incredible resilience and continued his path with unprecedented discipline. This led him to be the valedictorian of his class less than 4 months after his mom died. Now I go to the next one because otherwise I'll tear up. Okay. The last story that I share with you, it's about Jay. Jay is 8 and he comes with challenging background. His father was incarcerated. His mom is not part of his life. He's a smart kid with important behavioral challenges. He's been suspended multiple times from school and expelled from different after-school programs. He has a friend that has similar challenges, and this leads them to have frequent fights. We discussed one day in the office some relevant icons, and then a week later, our teacher witnessed G entering Dragon's Den, see his friend, and say, "Hey, I had a very stressful day at school today. I can't deal with you right now. I don't want to end up with a fight and the next on my chart. So please let me go in the quiet room for a few minutes, have a snack, and I see you when I feel better." Surprising, the other kids understood exactly what was happening. He walked away, and 15 minutes later, they were playing together. So in conclusion, I share with you our story today, and I want to share how our staff, our parents, especially, and I personally can't wait to try this program and really witness how this will transform the life of our children. That is basically the reason why we work so hard to give life to Dragon's Den. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Giulia. Thank you. Thank you.